is the Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs stating now that a total of 13 people were injured due to this strike. So this is what has happened. Of course, that's what the Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs has confirmed. 13 people injured, a young child as well. Major General Dwivedi, what do you make of this statement that Israel has released?
Well, Uday, the point is the shooting war is going on, and Iran has the capability to hit the target both in Israel and also in the Gulf region. And Iranians have been hitting the targets which are not purely military targets. They have been engaging the civil infrastructure, the civil habitats, and also the civil population areas. So this is very sad because what is happening is that the civilians are the ones who take the maximum hit because they are not protected. And therefore, I think currently, while the overtures are there that there's going to be a pullout or there's going to be peace talks, but what I feel is the war is going on full scale. There's no let up. It is doing the full intensity, full tenacity, and therefore the casualties will keep occurring, especially when the Iranians are taking on the civil infrastructure and not necessarily the military infrastructure. Therefore, this is a sad thing. But then, this is what the war is all about, that mostly the ones who suffer are the civilian people, and therefore they have to pay a heavy price. Even otherwise, economically also, is the people on the street who are feeling the pinch maximum, Uday.
All right, let me in fact also rope in some more news coming in now. Qatar Airways has released its latest revised flight schedule, signaling a steady recovery in operations following recent regional disruptions that affected airspace and connectivity. The updated timetable, valid until 15th April 2026, introduces additional frequencies to more than 90 destinations across its global network, spanning all continents. All flights continue to operate through dedicated secure corridors coordinated with the Qatar Civil Aviation Authority. So clearly, of course, it seems the new flight schedule is seeing less disruptions for Qatar Airways. Major General Dwivedi, things getting back on track now after those massive disruptions we saw earlier.
Well, Uday, this is just a temporary pause because what has been most affected in this war, firstly is the energy and second is the aviation, because these are, there's no let up actually. But yes, there to some extent, you open the window, you see that whether there is a same kind of threat. In this, so there are two things are there. One is definitely the intensity of Iranian missile strikes have come down, whereas earlier they were almost 80 to 100. Now they are in single digits. So therefore, I think the aviation can take a chance and they would know which are the windows that are open. And secondly is it's very difficult to predict because the war can be escalation is always there and de-escalation is there. So you can't really figure out as to what pattern is emerging. But yes, I think the overall, the intensity of Iranian strikes onto the Gulf region has come down, and therefore possibly there's a more opening of the window as far as the airspace is concerned. Uday.
Yes, let me also in fact get in some more breaking news coming in. Iran's IRGC has now given a statement saying the latest wave of attacks waged by Iran and its allied resistance fronts used more than 100 heavy missiles and attack drones along with at least 200 rockets. IRGC has further stated the attacks targeted various locations in Israel as well as US military positions in the Gulf, including a site hosting US forces in Bahrain and a US helicopter unit at the Al Adiri base in Kuwait, where it claims one helicopter was destroyed. The IRGC also stated, and I quote, attacks will continue with full intensity and power. Meanwhile, more breaking news also coming in. US Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has visited American troops deployed under Operation Epic Fury at undisclosed locations. He's interacted with personnel on the ground, reviewing operational readiness and boosting troop morale amidst the ongoing missions. The visit underscores Washington's focus on supporting frontline forces and maintaining strategic pressure in the region. So clearly, of course, Pete Hegseth has visited the troops on ground. What is the signal through this visit, Major Dwivedi?
Absolutely, because the higher leadership need to get the exact ground picture, and that can only happen not from the war rooms in Washington, but they have to come on the ground. So therefore, I think Pete Hegseth rightly is on the ground. He is trying to gauge the ground situation, get the feedback as to what exactly is the morale on the ground and how prepared the troops are. And one-on-one interaction, Uday, is very important. for the leadership at every level. I am sure the senior commanders also from the Washington war rooms would be also taking the first-hand feedback. So this is very important. This is one of the protocol or practices in all professional armies. The senior leadership reaches out to the troops on the ground, get the first-hand information, and also see that in case they have to do more. And so therefore, I think this is the right action that has been taken by Pete Hegseth, and also then you get the first-hand feedback as to what exactly is happening on the battleground, because you don't get the feedback from the war rooms at half a globe away. Uday.
Thanks to Major General Dwivedi for joining us with your perspective on that note. We're slipping into a short break.